I think they feel that they can get through. I mean, I know this new format, you need to be a Philadelphia lawyer to work out like, who's going through and who's going where. But I think with the new format, Celtic fans are looking at it, looking at the squad, looking at the fixture, and thinking we can actually progress for this. Can get through.
There's a chance to win some games, get some points in the bank, and yes, there is a chance to progress. I just think though that the crucial part from Celtic's point of view is that Brendan Rodgers has spent the last, I don't know, however long, 15 months or so, screaming for quality.
Yeah.
He's eventually got his way.
Yeah.
And because of that, you can now see a set of circumstances where they've got enough quality to replace 2 and 3 players at a time, be it from weekends to midweek.
Yeah.
And the actual standard of the team that he's putting out in the pitch won't be significantly decreased as it was previously.
No, definitely.
And you know, I think I spoke with Craig Swan about it. There was one point last season where they had a Champions League game in the midweek. Then when Hibs almost put out the same starting 11, dropped points, everybody's knackered. That's not going to happen this year because it's going to be so much easier for him to dip players in and out when they need a rest and not worry that the standard's going to collapse when he does that.
Yeah.
And the kind of perfect kind of illustration of that was no Matt O'Reilly for the first Old Firm game of the season, and everybody would have forgotten that he was even there because of the standard of performance.
Yeah, and Paul
everything you've said, Jacko, is especially true if there are so many points clear in the league. I mean, we spoke last night about the next Premiership weekend, Celtic potentially going 8 clear. Rangers, I think you're right. Honestly, I think come these Champions League games, if Celtic are 8, maybe even 10 points clear of Rangers. I know Aberdeen are in the mix as well, but I genuinely think Brendan Rodgers will be looking at that squad thinking, with all due respect, league games, especially at home, I think that's when you'll see like Luke McCowan and Valle and Ida and Bernardo and people like that, because I think he'll have the luxury of leaving Hatate, Kyogo, people like that out the team for the Champions League.
But I mean, if you actually rewind to day one with Brendan Rodgers, he did put on record his ambition was to come here to do something in Europe, and I think that's what frustrated him was, unless you give me the proper tools to do that, then I'm going to fall short on the promise that I made to the Celtic supporters on my first day. So I think it was critical in order for him to try and land a few blows in Europe, but also stay on top and in control of stuff domestically. He needed that extra quality. The squad isn't bloated anymore.
No.
You're looking through that 25-man squad. There's still room for an Adam Montgomery, but the level of player is, as opposed to a gap from your first 11 to a bunch of fringe guys that might be projects, and it now feels a lot closer together. And I think that bodes well for Celtic this season.
I mean, I was reading Gordon Strachan saying that, and he's right in what he said, probably more so in the old format. I know with the new format it's more difficult to work out, but he says you need a scalp, you need a biggie. When he got to the last 16 twice, they beat AC Milan at home and they beat Man U at home. Brendan Rodgers hasn't really had that statement one, has he? I mean, he beat Feyenoord last season, but it was a dead rubber. He's not that real biggie, and I think he's got to produce that.
Well, that would certainly light a fire under this campaign if he manages to get